She said it like it was nothing, just a casual joke thrown into the room. But it landed on me like a punch I didn't see coming. We were sitting with her friends at our usual Friday dinner, the kind of gathering that's supposed to make you feel like part of something. Instead, I felt like an exhibit. Claire leaned back in her chair, wine glass in hand, and said, "You know, Michael still doesn't know how to make a woman feel wanted." The laughter that followed wasn't loud, but it was sharp, the kind that cuts without leaving visible marks. Her friends giggled. One even covered her mouth like she was trying to be polite. I looked at Claire, waiting for her to say she was joking, but all I got was a smirk. I tried to smile. I really did, but something inside me cracked. I'd spent years building this woman's confidence, standing by her when she was uncertain about her career, when she doubted her looks, when life made her feel invisible. Yet, in one careless moment, she turned me into a joke for people who barely knew me. The dinner dragged on, but I wasn't really there anymore. My laughter came a few seconds late. My smile felt mechanical. When she reached for my hand, I moved it just slightly away, pretending to fix my sleeve. No one noticed, or maybe they did. Later that night, when we got home, she was still glowing from the wine and attention. "Don't take it so seriously," she said. "It was just a joke." But the way she said joke made it sound like I was the problem for feeling hurt, like I was too fragile, too sensitive, too male. I didn't argue. I just nodded and went to bed. But my mind didn't stop spinning. For years, I'd ignored the little signs. The subtle digs, the dismissive laughs, the way she sometimes used my insecurities as punchlines when she was with her friends. Every time I told myself she doesn't mean it. But that night, I realized something terrifying. Maybe she did. Maybe this was who she really was when the filters were gone. The next morning, she acted like nothing happened. She hummed while making coffee, kissed me on the cheek, and said she was going shopping with her friends again. That same group. When the door closed behind her, I sat there for a while, staring at the untouched cup of coffee she made for me. I felt empty. Not angry, not even heartbroken. Just done. I went upstairs, pulled out a suitcase, and began folding my clothes. No drama, no tears, no note. Just quiet, steady movement, the kind that comes after a decision that's been years in the making. By noon, I had packed everything I owned that mattered. My clothes, my books, the old watch my father left me, and a few photos I couldn't leave behind. I left the key on the kitchen counter and walked out. The drive out of town felt surreal. The road stretched endlessly. The world outside looked both new and familiar, like it was waiting for me to finally show up. I didn't know where I was going, but for the first time in years, I didn't feel trapped. Hours passed before my phone started buzzing. Claire. I ignored the first call, then the second, then the third. By the time I pulled into a small motel off the interstate, there were 10 missed calls and 3 voicemails. I sat on the edge of the bed, staring at the screen, when the clock on the nightstand turned to 1:03 a.m., and the phone rang again. Her voice came through, shaky, raw, drenched in tears. "Michael, please, I didn't mean it. I swear I didn't mean it." For a long moment, I didn't say anything. I could hear her sobbing through the phone, the kind of crying that sounds like guilt has finally found its way home. I leaned back against the wall, staring at the ceiling, listening to her breathe through the silence she had created. "Michael, please talk to me," she whispered. "I can't stop shaking. I thought you were just cooling off. But when I came home and your things were gone," her voice cracked. "I'm so sorry. I was just trying to be funny. Everyone jokes like that sometimes." Could have hung up. I should have. But part of me wanted to hear it all, to let her words wash over me, not because I wanted her back, but because I needed to understand what made her think that kind of cruelty was love. "Claire," I said quietly, "you didn't just make a joke. You made a habit out of it." She went silent, the kind of silence that makes you realize they know exactly what you mean. "I laughed with you when you made fun of my cooking. I stayed calm when you joked about my job. I even smiled when you told people I was too quiet, too serious, too boring. But that night," I paused, my throat tightening, "you laughed at me in front of strangers, and you enjoyed it." Her breath hitched. "I didn't know it hurt you that much." That's the problem, I said. You never noticed. Outside the motel window, rain started to fall, light, rhythmic, almost comforting. I could picture her sitting on our couch, phone in hand, mascara smudged, realizing for the first time that her audience was gone. I can fix this, she said suddenly. Come home, please. I'll tell everyone I was wrong. I'll do anything. But what she didn't understand was that I didn't leave for revenge or pity. I left because I finally understood what it meant to be invisible in your own life. I told her softly, you broke something that doesn't make a sound when it shatters. Respect. She started crying again, whispering my name between apologies. I listened for a while, then said the words I'd been holding for years. You made me feel small so you could feel big. And the worst part? I let you. I ended the call before she could reply. That night, I didn't sleep much. I kept thinking about all the times I had mistaken tolerance for love, all the times I'd convinced myself that kindness meant endurance. But walking away wasn't cruel. It was clarity. By morning, the rain had stopped. I packed my few things and checked out of the motel. The air felt cleaner, lighter, as if the world had opened a new window just for me. I drove aimlessly for hours, letting the miles untangle my thoughts. Somewhere between states, I realized that peace doesn't always come wrapped in forgiveness. Sometimes it comes in distance. Weeks passed before I heard from her again. A single message. I miss you. You were the only one who ever loved me right. I didn't reply, not out of pride, but because love without respect isn't love at all. It's dependency dressed as devotion. I found a small apartment near the coast, started painting again. Something I hadn't done since college. The silence that once terrified me now felt like company. Sometimes, when the evening light hits the water just right, I think about how easily we mistake laughter for happiness, attention for affection. But real connection doesn't humiliate. It heals. Claire became a story I tell myself when I need reminding of what I'll never accept again. And that moment, 1:03 a.m., her voice breaking through my phone, will always mark the exact time I realized my worth wasn't something anyone could laugh away. Because sometimes the most powerful revenge isn't anger, or words, or even forgiveness. It's the quiet decision to walk away and never look back.